Should we do a little sort of real-time demo with this guitar? Yes, all right. This is the best because I have the audience right here. What's the first thing someone wants to know when they hear a guitar demo? I'm genuinely curious. Doug, bass response, right. Step number one, let's turn all the knobs on this all the way up, and I'll try not to hit the stutter machine too much. I have no idea what these pickups are, but they look so cool. Starting with a couple of like open chords, right? And there's a great Kirk Hammett quote where he said, when you play a guitar solo, you don't have to try and play every single cool thing you've ever learned in your life in every solo. And that's something demoing I've found. Look, if I'm listening to someone here demo a guitar, I want to hear. So that's pretty cool, right? And that's on the bridge pickup. So let's go to the middle. That is eating my face alive, but I can tame it. Wow, what does that do? So that's super cool. It sounds like it's kind of blending it in. That's really cool, actually. And then the neck. Oh. There's that bass response thing going on. So that's like giving me the chest pump, right? The next thing I'd look for is some like high register stuff on there. So playing a few chords, like some expensive chords. What about over here? What do you guys look for in an instrument when you try it the first time? I'm curious. Yeah, sustain, man. Sustain is life, right? And that's definitely something I listen out for as well. You know, sometimes you hit a note and it just goes, blah. I like that thing where it's, what do people call it, like the bloom? Where it sort of like feels like it's taking off a little bit, and especially if we get to some dirty stuff. See, this is good. You're all doing all the work for me. If you just take all of these ideas and do them in a video, you too can be a YouTuber. Sorry. Greatest weakness is making terrible faces when I play the guitar. But you have to turn those weaknesses into strengths, right? So I always film my face when I'm doing this because I feel like it's so transparent. Like people can just tell if you're digging it, right? And we all do that. We all have our signature little faces that. But this is like, we've had the kind of the low end tests, which I like. Again, I'm stealing all of this stuff so I can make my videos better. The sustain test I like as well. Oh. This is a secret, like, I want to play some John Sykes on this. So yeah, when I say I make guitar noises, literally this is what I spend the majority of my life doing this stuff. The big thing that jumps out to me with this is these frets are pretty big, which I wouldn't expect from a guitar like this. And I'm definitely in the big frets are more better kind of category. So this actually feels super comfortable for what I like to do, which I wouldn't necessarily expect. A big thing for me as well is, you know, if you're paying like big ticket price for a guitar, it should be intoned out of the box. I don't care what anybody says. So one thing I love to do is we played some expensive chords earlier. I'm just going to tune this really quickly. And I feel like a really good test. And you can do this on your guitars as well if you've ever... Hopefully I don't ruin someone's favorite guitar for them. But just get like a bog standard clean sound and play. And we are all aware of the compromises necessary for just intonation, but that's a pretty, I mean, that's a good sound in G. You want this G on your team. This is good. It'd be awkward if it was all like, it's like, oh, Jack, you've done me wrong. So once, and you know, especially playing stuff up like this is really nice. Digging that sound. It's the simple things in life. So yeah, this is essentially, if you can do this, and trust me, you can all enjoy a nice electric guitar and an amp sound, right? You can do the thing. I would encourage people. I feel like something I get from some people, they're like, oh, I'd love to do YouTube videos, but there's already, you know, you're already doing it and something like that. I think the advantage of the internet is like everybody has a pretty unique set of experiences and taste, and without sounding as new age as I look, I think having as many perspectives as possible is a really great thing, especially with music, which is an oral tradition that we pass on, that we interact with, and I'm starting to sound as new age as I look, but I genuinely mean that. I hope if there's some people who are enjoying this, they'll go out and have a crack at it as well. So, man, this is so nice. So there's one extra feature on here I haven't tried yet. I believe this is gonna, yes. How good's that? Drop D. That's pretty awesome. So that's the, what is that, it is a hip shot. So has anyone got one of these on their guitars? They're a bloody lifesaver. I don't have one, but my bass player does. So they're just a retrofit for a standard tuner, but there's a very small little thumb wheel here so that when you're in the D mode or C, whatever you want to drop down to, yeah. And you can also, bass player in my band, Ragdoll, he'll often like use that thing. And if you want to see something super wild, there's a bass player called Michael Manring, American bass player. Has anyone heard of him before? He has 4 on his bass and 4 on the bridge of his bass, and he plays a fretless, and he plays stuff where he's just like surfing the drop tuner things, and it sounds beautiful, which is pretty crazy. So something like this would be super handy for, yeah, just for that. Oh yeah, so that's the Triplecaster. And again, I am filming this, which is nice, so I'll put some of this up. Does anyone have any questions really quickly? Because I'll do a little bit more stream of consciousness about real live YouTube. All good? I'm going to grab a different guitar very, very quickly. Here's another super cool thing as well. Who has played the Meteora? Anybody? Would highly recommend. So this is, Graham, is this one of the Ultras? It's an Ultra, yeah. So again, I always associate an offset guitar like you have to, you know, the same way if you had a very like a Jackson, right? Everyone knows what's coming out of that thing. I always feel like with offset guitars, a lot of the time because of the pickups, because of the stuff like that, you associate it with a particular genre. And it's like, it's I was the uncool kid listening to Rat, but the cool kids had like Jaguars and Jazzmasters. I like this because it's basically the same neck they have on the Strat Ultra, so it's a compound radius. Who doesn't know what a compound radius means? So normally your fretboard's a bit curvy. So it's like if you had a cylinder, imagine a nice big round cylinder, and you sliced it. You slice off a bit of cheese the wrong way on the big cheese thing. Consistent radius on there. But imagine you did that with an ice cream cone instead. So it's pointy at the top and it's sort of round at the bottom. So the fretboard is thinner down here. So if you're playing chord, whoa, that's cool. You've got a nice round radius because our hands aren't flat. They do that. But up the top, you can... You can bend really easily because it's a lot flatter. So that's a pretty cool thing. My favorite thing with this guitar, though, and I did a demo of the Meteora recently, and I played it live for a bunch of shows. I feel like this should kind of be standard on every guitar. And if you get a chance to play this, it's super cool. So everyone knows what a tone control does, right? Some people may know it as the suck control. But it's good for... That's the bridge pickup as well, right? So great for that. And I love this. Again, I'm playing a Fender scale guitar and I'm not... That's why a compound radius is rad, kids. There's a feature on here where this third knob is a bass cut. So a tone control is going to roll off your high end. A bass cut, and you can hear... There's a little bit of that oh kind of sound going on because I have all the gain in the universe dialed up. It's a little bit much. With a bass cut, you're rolling out, and this is the best lesson I've ever been taught in high gain. If your sound's a little bit muddy, and you cut bass before the distortion. So if you have an EQ pedal, if you have a bass cut control on your guitar, you can do this. There it is. You don't need like a tube screamer or an EQ pedal or something like that in there. It's going from... And like, I love how much low end there is. As soon as you start playing with a band, everyone's mad at you. Also super good as well. This has the S1, the little coil tap on it. So bit of spank. Here's our test, right? With the bass cut, I found using it so that you can go humbucker. Just make it a bit more jangly. But you've got control over it, which is something I appreciate. Humbucker. Even on the neck pickup, right? Being able to... Played the solo for a Ragdoll song which came out last year called Sky's Limit. And I will do my best to play it not being in drop C. I'm going to do it on the Triplecaster, actually, because that's super rad. So... And before I go, everybody say hi, Mom. For everybody watching at home, bye.